Imagine living inside a house while someone else is living there with you. Not a guest, not a neighbor, someone you never see, but who sees you. Someone who eats your food, listens to your breathing while you sleep, knows exactly when you are alone. Then, on a freezing night in 1922, an entire family was murdered inside a remote farmhouse in Germany. But the true horror was not how they died. The horror was this: the killer never left the house. Welcome to the case of Hinterkaifeck, one of the most disturbing and unexplained crimes in European history. Hinterkaifeck was not a village. It wasn't even a town. It was a secluded farmstead hidden deep in the Bavarian countryside, surrounded by forests, connected by muddy, unlit paths. In winter, the silence there becomes unnatural, the kind of silence that makes you hear your own thoughts. This is where the Gruber family lived. Andreas Gruber, the head of the household, his wife, Cecilia, their daughter, Victoria, her 2 young children, and a new maid who had arrived only days before the crime. 6 people entered that house. None of them left alive. Weeks before the murders, Andreas Gruber began noticing something wrong. First, footprints in the snow. Footprints coming from the forest, leading directly to the house. But there were no footprints leaving, as if someone had arrived and vanished. Then came the sounds, footsteps in the attic at night. Whenever Andreas went to investigate, no one was there. The keys disappeared. A newspaper appeared in the kitchen, one no one had bought. Andreas told his neighbors, but he never contacted the police. Why? Because he was a violent, controlling man who wanted no outside interference. That decision may have sealed their fate. On the night of March 31st, 1922, the air was bitterly cold. The sky was moonless. Inside the farm, everyone was home. One by one, the family members were lured into the barn. Not all at once, not in a frenzy, but calmly, deliberately. One crushing blow with a heavy farming tool, then silence. The father, the mother, the daughter, then the children, then the maid. No one survived. And yet, the killer did not flee. Days passed. Neighbors noticed something strange. Smoke no longer rose from the chimney. Mail went unanswered, but the livestock was still being fed. When they finally entered the house, time seemed to stop. Bodies were discovered in different locations, but what froze investigators in place was something far worse. The killer had lived in the house after the murders. He ate the family's food. He lit fires to keep warm. He fed the animals, and he stayed there for days, possibly weeks, living alongside the dead. German police arrived, but nothing made sense. No forced entry, no robbery, no witnesses. The house looked as if it recognized the killer. Suspicion spread everywhere. A neighbor? A former worker? A family member? Or someone secretly living in the attic? Dozens were questioned. No one was convicted. The case went cold. What if the killer didn't enter the house that night? What if he was already there, eating with them, listening to their arguments, sleeping above their heads, waiting? A theory suggests someone had been living in the attic for weeks, maybe months, and when the time came, he didn't feel like an intruder. He was already part of the house. Years later, the Hinterkaifeck farmhouse was demolished, but the case was never buried, because some places remember, and some secrets refuse to die. The next time you hear footsteps above you or feel like you're not alone in your own home, remember this: in Hinterkaifeck, the killer never left the house.